Ted here with King Hill Gun Company. The much anticipated cleaning video is here. So today we're going to be cleaning this 6.5 PRC carbon model that we just built for Buck Run. And there's 100 different ways to do this. Everybody's got their own opinion, I'm sure. This is the way we do it here because I found over the years kind of settled on this technique because I get consistent results and accurate rifles. So we'll get started here. First thing, obviously, we're going to make sure that the chamber is empty, the weapon is empty, the magazine's empty. We're going to push our side bolt release, remove the bolt, put it somewhere clean. Like to put it in the gun butler there. And then, very important, we're going to take our bore guide. I want to basically make this like it's a bolt. So this little handle loosens and then you can slide it. And essentially you put it in, making sure that this little slot is on top so you can put solvent in. And you slide this sleeve down. So this part you've pushed in all the way to the stops. And then we move this sleeve and we want to go to the back side and tighten it down. And when I'm trying to pull it back out, it won't come out. Now it's just like your bolt works. I turn it up and it comes out. Push it in, turn it down. Once you have it adjusted for your rifle, you won't really have to mess with it again. Bore guide, we've already adjusted it, and pretty easy to adjust once you figure it out. We got it in there just like a bolt. Take our mouse pad. This is definitely my idea. I didn't steal that from anybody. Then we're going to take our carbon fiber rod with the cleaning jag. So we're going to take the cleaning jag. We're going to center the patch over it. And then I'm going to pull down and you see it pop through. Now the patch is on there. Using our eyedropper bottle. Lots of Hoppe's number 9 on there. And then we're going to push it through. Remember, we're always going to go the direction the bullet travels. So we're going to do, depending on how dirty the gun is, we're going to go 3 to 5 patches like that. We're going to remove the jag. And we're going to put on our appropriately sized bore brush. So with the bore brush, get maybe 250 strokes out of it, maybe less. So you want to kind of count them, and then once you start to feel less resistance in there, it's time for that one to go in the garbage. So generally I go 50 strokes when I'm deep cleaning a rifle and breaking them in. You may only need to go 20, however many you want. I usually go 50. So I want to feel that resistance. If that slides through with very little resistance, then the bore brush needs to go in the garbage. If I can push the whole gun and the thing here like that, that's a good bore brush. This is a brand new one. So that's about how much resistance I want. You can see I'm shaking the whole table here. So if I was able to slide that through and not shake the table or not try to slide the gun in the gun butler, that means that bore brush is worn out. So we're going to do our 50 strokes there. The gun butler has a little groove there. We'll put our cleaning jag back on. We're going to take a patch. And you can put solvent on this time, or I usually don't. This one you're going to see, because all that solvent that we put on the bore brush, and I usually go 25 strokes. I'll wipe the rod off, and then I'll go more solvent on the brush. So there's a lot of solvent in there. There's a lot of solvent in the muzzle brake. So the first patch after, in this case we didn't really do it for real so you don't see it, but normally you'll see a bunch of solvent drop out the end. So I do one dry patch, then I take my bore guide out, take my chamber cleaning rod, go in there, clean out that chamber, clean out the locking lugs. This is just making sure that I get any solvent, especially if you use water-based solvents. You really want to make sure you get them out of there. But if you leave solvent in your chamber and shoot it, you could have bad pressure problems. So do that, then pop the gun out. Depending on where you're doing this, if you're doing it in the kitchen, you might want to go out on the back deck. I'm going to spray out usually more than that, but I'm trying not to juice up the studio here. I'm going to spray out that muzzle brake and then wipe off the residue. That high pressure with the gun scrubber gets basically all that solvent that was sitting in the bottom of the muzzle brake. So then I'm going to put my bore guide back in, and I'm going to keep dry patching. And again, I want that much resistance on the patch. So if it gets stuck in there, it's obviously too big for the bore. If it slides right through with no resistance, then it's too small. If you buy the kits from us, obviously they're correct. I'm going to do that patch, dry patch, until it comes out clean, and then or as clean as you can get. Then I'm going to take my Hornady One-Shot, spray it, and I'm going to run one last patch through. I'm going to take that all apart. I'm going to grease my locking lugs, a couple spots on the back of the bolt. Take our Q-tip, clean out anything I can see in here, and then put it back in there. Make sure the safety still works, which obviously it does, and we have a clean rifle.